I literally just tripped on a rock. So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So unexpectedly, I have here with me what could have been for Chevrolet here in the Philippines. So this is the 2015 Chevrolet Spin 1.5 LTZ. So this is the top of the line version of the Spin at its time. So you had two engine choices. So one was a very popular choice too by many Filipinos here because it was powered by a 1.3 liter diesel engine. So for this LTZ variant, this is powered by a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that produces 109 horsepower and 141 Newton meters of torque. And this is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. With the figures alone and for what this is at that time, so this could have been the Xpander before the Xpander was a thing actually. So when this was new too, this cost 838,000 pesos. Sorry, being a Chevrolet, 838,888 pesos. So as well, I'd like to thank everyone here again at Chevrolet Pasong Tomo, Ma'am Jen, and to Sir Kevin Maribao. This is his personal car. So contact details will be in the description down below. So surprisingly at its time too, there was no claddings here on the side. It's just plain, but you have a nice powerful crease over here on the doors. It's a very short but a very boxy car, especially at the rear. So here at front too, you get halogen lights all around. So the Spin never came with garnishes. FYI, these were only modded after it was bought. And surprisingly, here in the grille, you have somewhat a smiley face over here, according to some reviews too. And the ground clearance is not that tall. Well, I mean, it's still generous enough at 157 millimeters, but comparing with its competition at this time and current MPVs, yeah, the ground clearance is a little bit shorter now than usual. So yeah, pretty plain car. And the wheels look all alright. Have the same tires with my daily car too. And you only get repeaters here on the side. So what's more interesting with this Spin actually is that we go to the rear. So here now at the rear of this Chevrolet Spin, so as you can see, you have a squared off roof over here to the point you can actually put a roof rack over here. This LTZ as well came with a roof rail. So I'm not sure if the 1.3 LS model, since that's how they designate base models at the time, if they came equipped with this. This was a very short MPV compared with its rivals at the time, FYI. It is a really short car. I mean, I'm beside already a Chevrolet Tracker. This is like somewhat few inches or few centimeters shorter than that of my favorite Chevrolet SUV, by the way. Yeah, pretty boxy looking for an MPV. I think it's even boxier than that of the Suzuki Ertiga. So you have a Chevrolet badge over here, and above it you have a 6-speed automatic badge. And here on the right side you have the Spin and the... Oh, okay. So yes, this is an LTZ van. So the owner probably jokingly swapped the letters because it says here TLZ. So what's special with this Chevrolet Spin? Like what I said in front, so this was supposed to be the Xpander before the Xpander was a thing. So open this boot up. Right, so for the angles, it's a tight space over here. So this Spin is actually a 7-seater. I'm surprised for a short car, you have a good amount of space in here. So we'll get to that in a bit. Another big quirk with the Chevrolet Spin, that's why this was as well so popular before, is the seating arrangement. You have a total of 23 seating arrangements. I won't be able to demo it all for obvious reasons because it might take too much time. So anyways, so with all of the seats up with the third row unfolded, you have a total of 162 liters. I mean, it's not too bad. And the load lips not too high, and getting stuff in and out is pretty easy. This is probably the lowest boot lip I've encountered so far within MPV. And there's an option to you can fold just the third row. So yeah, you won't be able to flatten this out unless if you fold the second row down. So you can tumble this third row up. You have a total now of 553 liters. And then if you fold the second row down, you can maximize it at 711 meters. You can as well tumble the second row forwards as well with this third row. So hilariously, you can tumble and leave it as is. So as well, there's a theater mode for this Chevrolet Spin as Chevrolet Philippines market that before. I know what it is. It is so cool. What's nice too with the Chevrolet Spin with the second row, to fold it back up, usually it's a 60-40 layout like all MPVs. So you have to do it first on the left side and then fold it up again on the right side. But not for this Spin. Either on left or right side, you can fold it all at once. I never seen that feature on an MPV. So that's about it with the engine, the exterior, and the boot of the Chevrolet Spin. Let's go to the interior. So here now in the interior of this 2015 Chevrolet Spin. It's nice with the Chevrolet Spin. You have a switch style keyblade So this is the interior of the Chevrolet Spin. Everything is analog in here, but back to basics again, I have to say. Everything functions here pretty well. So my favorite part with the Chevrolet Spin is actually the steering wheel. It's a steering wheel, there's no buttons in it, and it looks good too, I have to say. And then, oh wow, nice urethane material, not too hard, not too soft. And then, does this have, it's only tilt steering wheel. And then I love when you start it up, the instrument cluster looks exactly like a sport bike. That's pretty cool. And as well, another popular thing with the Chevrolet Spin is that you have what, a total of 22 cubby spaces. There is a lot of them. So you have the biggest door pockets I've ever seen in a car. Going back to the dashboard, I do love the two-toneness here in the interior. It's like brown and then some cream in here. It's not the usual black and white kind of thing. And then you have like a, I don't know what material this is called, but it is really nice to the touch. Feels like my carpet back at home. And yeah, more of the cream and brown two-toneness here on the door card. Another quirk with this Chevrolet Spin, your side mirror adjustments are on the A pillar. Here on the left side, you have an air conditioning vent, your light controls, headlight level adjustments, and how to adjust the display in the instrument cluster. They're here on the left side of the stock. It's a little bit confusing at first. You have to press the menu button to toggle up and down, but I got the hang of it pretty easy. It actually looks sporty, this instrument cluster. So here in the center, you have your radio along with a CD, MP3, and Bluetooth functions. Below it, you have your hazard button, rear AC controls, and your lock and unlock for the doors are pretty similar like that of this Chevrolet Tracker, though this one's broken. And then further down below, you have your air conditioning controls, pretty simple. A cubby space, it fits my phone. And then here around in the gear lever, so being a 6-speed automatic, your manual mode is here on the left side of the gear shift. So yeah, it's typical American style car. Here further behind, you have two cup holders, an aux cord, a 12-volt socket, another cubby space here, and surprisingly a manual hand brake. No center console box, but it's fine. And above here, you have a down light, sun visor, ticket clip holder, yeah, and doesn't extend sadly. Oops. It's pretty thin though, and look how, yeah, it doesn't cover all the way here though, sadly. Despite being a top-of-the-line Model 2, you have fabric seats all around this car. Yeah, it's just covered with this extra layer of fabric. And on the left side, another quirk, you have a big cubby space over there. And your main glove box is above, not below. But at least you can still fit a lot of stuff in there. And then here in the center, you have two air conditioning vents, an extra cubby, so you can perfectly place an altar over there. Yeah, that's it. That's about it here in front. Pretty simple here. Alright, let's go to the second row. So here now in the second row of the Chevrolet Spin, you still have the same layout and materials here on the rear door card, and the same style too with the door pockets. It's pretty big, and here at the there's not much toys here, so the space here is pretty good too, despite being a very short MPV. Feet room, knee room, excellent, and the headroom not too bad too for what this is. From here in the back, I think the Avanza has a little bit more headroom, but this one is not too bad. So as well, there's no map pockets here behind. You only have one cup holder in the center. If I sit here in the middle, transmission tunnel is really narrow. You can just put your feet wherever you want. But I gotta commend though for these fabric seats. They're pretty soft and pretty comfortable. I'll enjoy sitting here in the back for a long trip. And above here, you have your air conditioning vents and the temperature knob. And on the third row, you have more air conditioning vents and one dome light again. And then since we're talking about the third row, space there in the back, not too bad too, surprisingly. It's not the best one in its class, but I fit there no problem. And on either side, you have a cubby space on the window. And then further down below, another cubby space along with the cup holder. Let's go for a drive. So, driving the 2015 Chevrolet Spin. Oh. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, I love the 6-speed compared with the competition, of course, because the rest are only 4-speed or even CVTs if you include the present day. But this one's not bad. And then try manual mode. Oh, it's already up to 5th. Oh, okay. Okay, that's not bad. tuned more for city driving, of course, but there's some sporty nature to it. The 6-speed is not surprisingly sluggish. I mean, if you go from first to second or even down to first, yeah, it tends to be sluggish at that point, but the higher gears, surprisingly not too bad. I mean, here, just demo and just gonna floor it. Picks up pretty well too. So, unlike its competition now, yeah, this is more eager to move forward, of course, of the transmission. And surprisingly, a characteristic of present Chevrolets too, there's not much throttle delay too. And yeah, the engine is exactly the same like with the current MPVs, but this has, fun fact, 3 more horsepower than the current Xpander and 1 Newton meter more torque too. Then here, road noise test. Okay, it's running on eco tires, and like what I said earlier, these have the same set of tires like in my Corolla too, surprisingly. But the NVH here, of course, it's a Chevrolet, it's not too bad at all. Okay, call me a bit crazy. The NVH here is on par with present MPVs. A little bit short on the current ones, but compared at its time with the Ertiga, the Avanza, this one's alright, I have to say. And then here, suspension test. Okay, you can hear a little bit thud here and there, but it's not too bad. Surprisingly comfortable too. And that's the advantage too with the low ground clearance of this Chevrolet Spin. It feels you're driving more like a sedan rather than an MPV. And then I did notice this immediately when I was taking this out of the car park. The steering feel is pretty heavy, surprisingly. I mean, it's no truck-like or PPV-like, but surprisingly not too bad. And then manual mode again. Not too bad, I love this. Alright, put you back in the day. Alright, I'm just having what, 60 kilometers per hour. This is a solid choice. So yeah, I really wish that Chevrolet updated this when the new wave of MPVs came out, like what I said earlier with the Xpander. This could have been a real hit even up to today. This was discontinued around 2017 when the new Xpander, like what I said, came out at that time too. This could have been a hit. I mean, this was a hit if you're referring only to the diesel model, but this one, I'm surprised with this actually. It's for the price alone, when it was brand new too, I would have considered one, not gonna lie. I mean, I wanted an Ertiga, just speaking of. This is a good consideration comparing with its competition. I would hands down take this over an Avanza, the second gen by the way. This is much better than that. And the materials here and there, nothing too cheap, it's just alright. Yeah, what a car, surprisingly. City driving only, I've been averaging 7.2 kilometers per liter. Yet again, it's on par with its competition. And as well as you can see, visibility all around is perfect. Nothing to complain about. So what's the summary of the Chevrolet Spin? Good. It's really good. The engine sounds pretty fruity too for what this is.
It's throaty.
Yeah, right? It's so throaty. So what's your fuel consumption on average with highways, sir? What do you get most of the time?
Highways, I'd say, well, same with competition, 9 to 10.
Oh, 9 to 10.
City driving nowadays.
And then look, 40 kph. I can tell this is better NVH already than a Veloz. Wow. So, that's pretty it. That's, I as well like that heavy steering wheel because it kind of gives it a, what, have to say, a steady ride. So, that concludes my review with the Chevrolet Spin. I'd like to thank everyone here at Chevrolet Pasong Tamo, Miss Ma'am Jen, and to Sir Kevin Maribao over here. He's the owner of this car. You may contact him if you want to buy current Chevrolet vehicles. So, hope you guys like and subscribe. And I will see you with more classic car reviews on my channel. Bye-bye.